Welcome to Our Girl Relationships. We talk about the problems people face in their day-to-day lives. Let's start with the video. I can't believe that I have to type this thing on the internet, but I can't say this to anyone I know in real life. At least after this, we can safely say that I am never trusting anyone anymore. I'm scared that someone else is going to just console me for acting nice and then again backstab me, then get me in extra trouble than I am already in today. Today, I received an old box from my aunt. She told me that it was something that belonged to my biological mother, aka her younger sister, who sent me to live a better life with her, and this is something that I am only allowed to open, so she saved it for me. And now, here I am, messing up my sobriety for a long-ass letter my mother, who is, according to this letter, dead. I have no idea because I was told my mom just left, and here it says, before she dies. I don't know what's up, but here's the whole detail of the letter that I found in that box. My mom gave birth to me 23 years ago. Soon after I was born, she kept me for 4 months till my father was arrested, and then left me to live with my older aunt, aka her older sister, back in the city, where my aunt lived and worked with her family. I know these all seem too much to digest, and it is for me too, so let's unpack every bit slowly and get into every detail. My mother and her sisters grew up with an abusive father and a mentally unstable mother back in a semi-rural area, so basically the people back there were conservative and really male-dominated. So my mom moved in with my aunt when she came to the city for her studies. My maternal grandmother was into drugs. So, tired of the whole circumstances back at home, my mom also got into drugs and was deep into addiction at just 15 years old. And at that time, my aunt was 20. In her sophomore year in college, she had her own job and place, so my mother decided to let go of this addiction and become a better person and continue her high school near, and her parents going to send money anyway, so my aunt took her in. My aunt and my grandparents weren't in speaking terms. They still aren't because she doesn't like the way they were so toxic, which they actually were, and I don't really blame her for this extreme hatred she has for them. So my mother moved in with her and started improving day by day. Didn't smoke or do drugs or take alcohol, was completely sober for the whole next 6 months. And that's where she started becoming worse and worse. She started dating my father, who was 24 years old at that time. Yes, a 15-year-old dating a 22-year-old. My mother loved him. He had different plans. They were together for 3 months before they found out my mom was pregnant with his child, and he got mad and beat the shit out of her, and then tried to push my mother from the stairs because she refused to go through abortion. I don't know how to feel about this, but I understand that a 15-year-old isn't responsible enough, but knowing that I was almost aborted kind of scared me to my heart. But knowing her situation, it would have been better that way. But the thought of it made me not take my life for granted. So, my biological father is behind bars because my mother's family reported him to the cops and he got arrested. That's an amazing thing that happened, and I wonder if he's still in prison. It's been 23 years since he was arrested, and I just don't know where to start, honestly. This all information that I got all at once is just confusing for my small break, and I just broke up with my boyfriend a month ago, and now this sucks. It was my birthday yesterday, and now I got to deal with this type of bullshit that I literally don't give a crap about. Or, no, actually, I do. It's just so much to deal with that my small brain can't take all this information at once. Where was I again? Yeah, so I learned that my mother was a teenage mom who was bad into drugs, and my father was a predator, pedophile, and assaulter. It's not a great day, but I will make through it. And to add drama to the whole crap happening in my life, I'm graduating in a week and this whole thing is messed up. My aunt won't ever tell me anything about my mother or father. She always said that they were back at home waiting for me and they sent me away because they couldn't afford to have a child. And the place they lived was surrounded by bad people. And deep down, I had this accumulated anger for them, so I never bothered with them and just didn't feel the need to reach out to people who never really cared for me. Why the hell would I check on them? I remember begging my aunt to call my mom for at least for me to hear how she sounds. But she would refuse and tell me my mom won't take the phone. She kept on treating me like a child for so freaking long that I always thought I would remain the 12-year-old girl I was while being stubborn about knowing my parents, but then, you all know, I gave up. The whole letter is too hard to think about. It's somewhere in the garbage box. I'm scared of everyone right now. My mom mentioned in that letter to beware of my aunt because now that I'm 23, she'll come for me, and that crap made sense because I got all the inheritance from my grandparents. As I mentioned earlier, they don't get along at all and are literally in terms where they don't speak to each other. So it makes sense that she would come for me. Look, I don't even know the letter is genuine or not, but I have a warm feeling about it, and I am so confused about everything, whom to trust and whom not to. The only family I have known is my aunt, and if she becomes and turns out to be a backstabbing bitch, then that's it. I'm already heartbroken that my boyfriend cheated on me, and now all this drama unfolding, and I have no idea how to deal with this. And I'm really scared. In the letter, it is written that I should pay my grandparents a visit back in my mom's hometown, and it has an address, so I don't know if this is a trap or something. The thing is, if my aunt had the box, she would have opened it and would be knowing whatever was written there. And again, I doubt that because the letter was deep inside the box, underneath, so many layers. So she must have missed it, and her eyesight has always been really bad. So maybe I should just go visit them and know who is telling the truth and who is not. Then again, I am scared for my whole life right now and can't decide what to do anymore. It's either I throw myself into the volcano or throw myself into deep waters. Please, just anyone help me out. I know I need to give you all more background, but I don't have all the patience for that. I just want to sleep and never wake up. I'm tired of trusting people, and every time I do, there's them waiting for me to sleep so they can bite my neck and hurt me. I'm tipsy. That's from where all these metaphors are coming from. So please don't make fun of me for this. And I have to get over this crap soon. And I need to find something that will actually help me out instead of just taking me in circles. I don't know why I chose to make this post today, but I kind of feel less miserable and screaming all this crap on the internet. This is my throwaway, so no one would recognize me anyway, so I don't really care that much about everything. Yet again, I just want to sleep and never wake up. Maybe see you soon. I don't know. I don't want to stop typing for some reasons. LOL. Anyways, good night, folks. Make sure your life isn't full of secrets like mine. Okay, 3 days update. I didn't want to continue this post, but I don't know. Now I want to, I guess. So basically, I went to that address. It was just 2 hours away. So me and my friends went there together. We were three, one guy and us two girls. He was there for safety. It was a pretty huge place and nothing like the letter said it would be. It was really cool and away from the city, but it was developed. We went to the address and surprisingly, it was a big house. I knocked and my grandfather opened the door and hugged me immediately. We had our moment. We all went in, and my grandmother was sweet, nothing like it said in the letter. Actually, she was smoking a huge cigar, so yeah, matches the addict part. We ate and talked, and in the evening, my both friends went exploring with my cousin who stayed nearby, and I was at home all alone with my grandparents and showing them the letter. They read it and started tearing up and explained to me what happened was the truth, and my father is also dead. He was murdered in prison. It kind of makes me sad that I have no parents left for me anymore. I didn't know them, but still, hearing that they are both dead just breaks my heart. So their story did match up with the one that is said in the letter. Then my grandmother showed me the pictures of my mom. I look exactly like her. She was so pretty, and her having a cigarette in her mouth makes her look cooler, to be more honest. I'm glad my mom was baddie, LOL. And I saw the videotapes of her playing with me. I brought everything back with me, and they are honestly the best thing ever. And I won't trade those things for anything. Then we started talking about my aunt, and she isn't as bad as you guys painted her as to be. She just wanted her part of the inheritance. And as she's not on speaking terms with my grandfather, she won't be able to take it or ask for it. So basically, she has been keeping an eye, so she gets part of the inheritance, and that literally anyone would do. So he handed me the papers for the property and told me to get my aunt signed and tell her to come visit sometime. We left the next morning, and I handed the papers to my aunt and told the whole story. She laughed how the whole Reddit made her look like some Disney villain. It was hilarious. Hello, folks. It's been years since I wrote back in here. Okay, so yeah, don't worry after a while. I moved out of my aunt's house and still visit her regularly. She goes to visit grandma, and they're getting the hang of each other now and are happy. They all miss my mom, and I too do. I see the videos of her playing with me, and she didn't commit suicide. Her body couldn't take the side effects of giving birth, and she passed away. Everyone is sorry to me for hiding all these, but we're good. I have a good relationship now. The sad thing is, Grandpa passed away, and it's heartbreaking too. If a parallel universe exists, maybe we all are together, enjoying Christmas right now in one room. No, why am I crying about a Reddit post? Maybe because my mom passed away recently. I miss her. No, but OP is dumb, like she should have asked more about her parents. I'm a 22-year-old female and I got engaged in January to my boyfriend, 26, of 4 years, and I've never had much of a problem with his mother before. I would like to emphasize that she's a very kind person, has always had a lot of patience for me and my less than ideal family situation, including teaching me how to cook and other life things. Recently, though, she's begun to send me and other family members text messages about wanting grandchildren. Her first text message to me was, "I'm so glad my fiance is marrying a girl with such light skin. You have such pretty babies." And most of her other texts are all variations of my skin and future grandchildren. It made me uncomfortable, but I wasn't really sure how to address it without crossing a line, so I'll be honest, I just left it alone. My mother-in-law has also apparently made comments to my younger sister-in-law that she wants a light granddaughter and that we, my fiance and me, will keep trying until we get one. It's gotten to the point of obsession to where she texts my fiance every day asking when we'll have kids, even though we originally planned to wait at least a few more years. She's never mentioned my skin or lightness to him, as far as I know. It all kind of came to a head last night when mother-in-law was talking with her sister about us having kids, and my older sister-in-law asked why she was so sure we were having a light baby. And my mother-in-law replied, "Well, me, is so pale, it'd be impossible if she didn't." My older sister-in-law got upset and made a comment about her obsession with being white and stormed out. The dinner just got kind of ended a while after that, and I guess my younger sister-in-law talked to my fiancé because this morning he asked me to tell him what was going on. I just showed him the text, and he got in a fight with his mom and stepdad about her comments, and apparently this isn't the first time she's made statements like this around my older sister-in-law. Now, the whole family's fighting. One side is calling my fiancé, my older sister-in-law, and I sensitive, while the others are glad someone finally said something. I also got a text from my mother-in-law's sister saying we are selfish and awful for ripping the family apart over a few harmless comments. To top it all off, I'm pregnant, and I'm not even sure if I should say anything, even though I had planned on letting everyone know at dinner. So I guess, are we TAs? My fiancé and his family, except for my younger sister-in-law, who is half African American, half white, and her bio dad. My fiancé and his family, except my youngest sister-in-law, who is half African American, half white, and her bio dad, my fiancé's stepfather, who is white, are African American. I, for reference, am white and extremely pale. NTA, the obsession with skin tone is almost stalkerish, and her pressuring you to have a child and pestering you about it was not justified. You are not the a-hole, period. NTA, and based on comments to sister-in-law, it's possible she already has dark-skinned grandkids. How hurtful to make these comments directly in front of anyone who won't be giving her a light-skinned baby. Honestly, I don't know if she should even have contact with her grandchild, since her focus on appearance and skin color would be damaging to a child. I'm a 31-year-old female. My mom, 57, and my sister, 38, have always had a much closer relationship than my mom and I had. I was raised by my dad and raised as an only child for the most part. My siblings and I all have different dads. My job shut down thanks to the pandemic, and my fiancé and I were forced to a new location. Every paycheck, we would give my sister money for the bills in addition to putting food in the common kitchen. On top of that, they didn't cook, so we cooked for everyone. and they were using our only car at least 4 times a day. They put 70,000 miles on it in 5 months without offering gas or compensation. We were grateful for the place to stay, so we didn't say anything. A little backstory on my sister. She dropped out of school, got married at 17, had niece S at 19, niece H at 21, and niece N at 23. She went to jail a few times for stealing, a lot, and drugs. All the nieces dropped out of school. Niece S got pregnant by a 27-year-old when she was 17 and had a baby, A, one female. She then proceeded to leave the baby with her mom, who told niece H she could stay out of school to help with the baby. My sister and all my nieces do nothing but smoke cigarettes and weed and take pills. Yes, even the minors. They regularly sleep over at their boyfriend, girlfriend's place, and their mom doesn't want to put them on birth control because she's scared of seizures. But a vape is okay? None of them have a job. Anyway. My birthday came around. I woke up and wanted pizza, so I made pizza and ate it. I didn't share. Then I hear Sis yelling about how it's wrong that I ate in front of her starving kids. So I go ask her why her kids can't fix their own food. It turned into a shit show, and my fiance and I ended up leaving after Sis let niece H threaten our lives over pizza. We left. Days later, my mom tells me that Sis is saying we stole all of baby A's formula when we left. Somehow it magically didn't get brought up the day of the theft. I saw red, because never in a million years would we have taken anything, much less baby formula. Also came out that she claimed we never gave her a dime for staying there. My mom wants it all swept under the rug. I brought up to my mom that I was still angry, and she got mad at me, saying she just wants all her kids to get along. Then I told her I don't trust her to have my best interests at heart because she treats everyone the same regardless of how they act, and that as long as she continues to support my sister without holding her accountable, I don't count her as a safe person. Now she's not speaking to me. AITA? Also, the adult children getting along is completely out of mom's hands. It's nice that she wants that, but it isn't something she can control, and she doesn't have the right to demand it. NTA, but it sounds like you should call CPS and inform them of the illegal drug use. I'm worried enough about underage teenagers being encouraged to take pills, but there's also an infant involved. All it takes is one overlooked pill.